Very good evening, everybody. Can all of you hear me properly? Can everybody see the screen properly? Just give me a confirmation, guys, and I will start. Thanks, Sajay from Bangalore. You're the first one to confirm to me, then Ahmed, then Ganesh, then Shiv, and now there's a whole line. Pathfinders Trainings welcomes you guys. Shankar from Bangalore, welcome. Shankar says, I'm Shankar here. Great. So I'm seeing a lot of people from Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Chennai, on. So multiple places. We have a lot of people. Welcome everybody. And we have election results day after tomorrow. That's always an amazing day. It's a once in a 5-year live trading opportunity that I love to do. The exit polls are out. Market has already reacted to them. Yesterday it was 400 points up, and today it was almost 150 points down. So this was the market before the exit polls. This was the exit polls, and the market rallied up 420 points plus, the largest in 10 years, a single day rise. And today it has just come down. So tomorrow, before the results, will it stay there or will we come back? We will talk about that later. But one thing I know is stock market is a great opportunity for people who know what to do there. And it is a very sad place for people who do not know what to do there. So let's start from the start. And I welcome all of you into this training. From the very start, a small disclaimer. I have no tip service. I do not sell any software. I have no strategy that will make you rich in 2 days. Right? Stock market is like any other profession. You have to learn it, and only people who learn and who have the skill make money in this profession. I'm a full-time professional trader and a trading coach. I've trained thousands of people. I'm 52 years of age, into stock market since 2002, and a lot of students regularly learn from me, and I teach by live trading only. I do not handle anybody's money. So let me say that from the very start before we go on. I think almost everybody is here now. Yes, so let's start. So how many of you want easy money from the stock market? Say yes if you want easy money from the stock market. I have some people who said easy money. Ajit, Shankar, Aniket, Ahmed, Mahendra, Edward, Mahet, Rajiv, Achyut. Ajit said no. All those people who said yes to this, guys, you are a natural donor in the market. You will go in the market and make somebody else happy. You just go there and make somebody else happy. Please, the first lesson, even before I start, anybody who looks for easy money in the stock market always loses money in the stock market. Rule number 1, there is no easy money here. Have I made myself absolutely clear even before I start? Great. So let's start the market. I'll slowly come into it. Is it a great profession? It is a wonderful profession. It is one of the best profession. I'm an IITian. I've done my M.Tech. I was an NRI for many years. Then I stock market as an opportunity. Did it part-time for about 6 years. Then I came back to India, became a full-timer. And I have never regretted my decision. But one thing I know is, even today, even after years and years of trading and teaching, I still have to update myself on a regular basis. Most of you will become part-time in the start. It takes time to become a full-timer, but if you work hard enough, you can become a full-time trader. You cannot become a full-time trader in 2 months and 3 months. Many of the people, they hate their bosses or their jobs. That's why they want to be full-time trader. That is just the wrong reason to become a full-time trader. The right reason to become a full-time trader is that you become so good into it that you can consistently earn incomes into this field. That's when you are qualified to become a full-time trader. But what I see is only 20% need to become full-timers. It is a great profession as a part-time trader and investor, as a second source of income. Great, guys. So I'm from Mumbai. This is my trading room from where I'm speaking to you right now. I love books, and my trading room is full of books. Every professional trader will have a trading room of his own. This is mine. These are our 4 human needs, guys: peace of mind, health and energy, loving relationships, and financial freedom. When you say I'm wealthy, these are the 4 criteria to be wealthy. You should have peace of mind, you should be healthy, full of energy, there should be loving people around you, and you should have financial freedom. So what is financial freedom? When you have more money than you require, then you are financially free. And becoming financially free is a continuous process. And you become financially free when you acquire skills. When a child is born, what skills is he born with, guys? Let's start with a simple question. When a child is born, what skills is he born with? Anybody? Let's keep it interactive. I'll have a question answer session in the end. Yes, guys. What skills is a child born with? Sitharaman from Bangalore says crime skill. Adaptability, no, Manjunath. A child doesn't adapt according to the world. The world adapts according to the child. Please understand. So, and the right answer is by Rajiv. He said he is born with no skill. Yes, every child in the world is born with 0 skill. He has to acquire every skill, whether it is talking, whether it is walking, whether it is reading, whether it is writing. He's sent to a school where he acquires more skill, gets specialization. That's how you get a job. So whatever job you are doing, are you getting it because they like you or because you have a skill for which they can pay you? Subramaniam say, crying baby gets the milk. Try that in the stock market, Subramaniam. Doesn't work at all. They will take your milk away from you. Okay? So skills, you're paid for your skills, always remember. And stock market, in the field of finance, you will only be paid for your skills. So get ready to develop new skills. That's how you will be paid into this profession. It's a very paying profession for people who are not looking for easy money. And right now, most of the people, when you are coming to the stock market now, answer me a simple question, and I cannot answer for you, only you can answer. Right now, in context to the stock market, are you a grown-up adult or are you a baby? That's right. Are you grown-up or are you a baby? Achit says, I'm just newborn. Most of you have said, I'm a baby. Thank you very much for the honesty, guys. This is the right attitude to start. Great. Thank you very much. What are your choices and what are your investment vehicles? Let's look at your choices first when it comes to money. Your first choice is a FD. Pros, no risk, liquid, low entry cost. What are the cons? It does not even beat the inflation. What is the rate of inflation in India? About 6-7% a year. And what is the rate of your FD? What is the rate of your FD, guys? About 6-7%. So if you put your money into FD for 5 years, it will give you 6-7% a year, but all the interest you will get will be eaten away by inflation, which is a silent killer of your money, and the effective growth of your money will be zero. Effective growth of your money, that is a problem with FD. It's very safe, very secure, but it cannot even beat the inflation. What is the rule of investment? The rule of investment says that your net returns, after inflation, after cutting out the inflation, should be more than 15%. Should be more than 15%. So what is the effective per year growth that we are talking about? Can somebody tell me, if inflation is 7% and you are looking at a net growth in your wealth at about 15% per year, what is the gross returns you should be getting on your investments per year? Very good, Aniket, Mahindra, Pushkar, very nice. 22%. So that is your benchmark. 22% per year, if you can earn, you can create long-term wealth. You can create long-term wealth, and preferably choose a vehicle where long-term taxes are either very low or nil. So let's get out of the fixed deposit, go into real estate. Real estate is a high value assets, beats inflation, but not now. After demonetization and with the likelihood of the BJP government coming back, is real estate likely to go up, or is it likely to go further down? Further down, stagnant or down. So that is an asset class which is useless at least for the next 5 years, because the rise of this asset is driven more by black money, cash, which is being taken out from the system. So real estate is more or less an illiquid entry, so that shall be counted out. Then company deposit, government deposits, they are same as FD. They cannot beat inflation. And then you have, stocks and mutual funds. Mutual fund, good ones, can give you returns of about 12% a year consistently. But if you want higher returns, you will have to go to the stocks, because stocks are capable of giving you that 22% a year plus returns if you know how to enter and exit into them and which ones to buy. We'll be talking about that today. Bullions, diamonds, they are also low risk investments. When you are coming to the stock market, you come here to create income. So see, right now, you'll be with me for 2 hours. Thank you very much for that. But it is 2 hours of your life you're exchanging with it. And when you will enter into the market, you will, on regular intervals, give some time to it. That means you are, investing your time, and you should be paid for it. In your jobs, you are getting an income. What is an income? That money which is consistent in terms of amounts and in terms of frequency is considered an income. For example, salary is an income. Now, salary only promises thousands and lakh. Lottery promises crores of rupees. Can lottery be counted as an income? Now, this is a very important question I have in relation to the stock market. Can lottery be counted as an income? Thank you very much. You said no. Why? Why can't lottery be counted as income? Very good, Madhab, Mahindra. It is not consistent. Why is it not consistent? Because the probability of you winning the lottery is maybe 1 in a million. Your probability is almost zero. So that's why you cannot plan any expenses based on it. So now this is another important point. Money is considered as income only when you can plan your expenses based on it. And from the childhood, in terms of the stock market, what you have been told, it is gambling. Good people don't go there. It is very risky. It is speculation. It is gambling. So how many of you were told that stock market is gambling, guys? In your childhood, people around you, your mom, dad, friends. See, a lot of you were told, and still you are here because you want to find out whether it is gambling or not. Now let's come to this point, important point. Now, this is the top 50 stocks of India. Adani Ports, Asian Paints, Axis Bank, Bajaj Auto, top 50 companies constituting our index con Nifty. Now tell me, is Asian Paints in the business of gambling? No. Is the Axis Bank in the business of gambling? No, none of these companies is in the business of gambling. If I see here, Axis Bank, HDFC, ICICI, they are banks. They give you, they handle your finances. Hero Moto, Bajaj Auto, they manufacture two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and cars and jeeps. Infosys, TCS, Tech Mahindra, they take care of your IT needs. And some of them are pharma companies, some are steel companies, some are refineries. So when you buy and sell them on the stock market, you need to understand their business model, their valuations, their movements, and accordingly you have to learn to buy them and sell them. So it is not gambling. It is a whole science in itself. But this science is not based on, speculation. Neither is it based on certainty. It is based on a probability. And if you learn that topic, and probability in statistics is a topic in mathematics. So when you are coming to the arena of a stock market, you are coming into an arena of probabilities. And that's something that most people are not doing in their jobs. You're not working on probabilities in your jobs, in your life. There you work more on certainties. It is a trading science that you need to work on. And we'll be talking about that. How you can create income share. And we saw that inflation is a silent killer governed by rule of 72. What is rule of 72? 72 divided by the rate of inflation is the number of years in which your purchasing power will become half. With a inflation at about 8%, that is average inflation in our country, no matter what the politicians tell you. This is the inflation per year at 8%. If you have 10 lakh rupees now, which means if you have money whose purchasing power is 10 lakh rupees now, in 9 years, how does it come? 72 divided by 8 is equal to 9 years. Every 9 years, your money value will devaluate to half. And in 25 years, the value of 10 lakh will remain only about 1.3 lakh of the present money. That's why, when you are, any investment that you do, please count in inflation. Most people don't count inflation. And you cannot build a portfolio, you cannot create wealth until unless you count in the inflation. So that is one thing very important to understand when you specially build long-term portfolios, which will consist of stocks and mutual funds and index funds and FDs and maybe your real estate. Now, another challenge you will face is that you won't have a pension. At the age of 60, you will leave your job, your children would be well settled, but you still need money 25 years after that. So you have to start your portfolio building process right now. There are two ways stock market is handled, guys. There are two ways stock market is handled. One is actively using technical analysis, and another is passively using fundamental analysis. So these are the two ways stock market is handled, actively and passively. It's always a combination of both. A guy is doing intraday trading in options think this is the only way of trading. A person building long-term portfolio thinks, oh, this is the only way, buy and hold. But a trader and an investor has to know how to make a balance of both. How to make a balance of both. These are the four equations of money. If you are paying any kind of a loan, you are in equation number 1. And to be wealthy, to create wealth in short term and long term, you have to live your life in equation number 4. Income minus saving is equal to expense. If I see this equation purely from trading and investing point of view, you have to learn intraday trading and swing trading to create incomes from the stock market. Intraday trading is a few hour trading, and swing trading is a few day trading, which can be done with stocks and derivatives. And if you want to create long-term wealth, then you have to learn, how to create your equity portfolio, which consists of stocks, it can consist of mutual funds, it can consist of index funds, so not ULIPs. So, and this one should be growing at a healthy rate of about 24% a year. That's when you will create fundamental wealth. Now, when you create incomes, intraday and swing trading, what are you targeting? Because there you are using leverage as a vehicle. You are targeting 5 to 10% a month. 5 to 10% a month on your capital you are targeting, which is achievable, but it requires a high level of skill because it is a fast market and a leverage market that you will be trading. And this portfolio that you build, the ideal method to build the portfolio is 50% of the money for the portfolio should come from your incomes like salary and business, and remaining 50% should come from the incomes that you create by intraday and swing trade. That's how you will be able to create short-term incomes and long-term wealth, and you will easily be able to handle your job also. Are you liking the session so far, guys? I hope I'm making some sense to you in terms of stock market, because normally it is governed only by fear and greed. The people promising the moon, and then by the time they go there, the moon is gone and the sunrise has happened. Let's take it further. In the end, I'll have a detailed session on question answers. So please keep on noting your questions, and around 10:45 I'll close, and 15 minutes I'll have for question answers. In the end, I also will tell you, I have a very good offer for you in the end, how you can trade me on the election results day. That is always once in a 5-year opportunity. And I will tell how you can trade with me full day on the election result day. As I said, I teach by live trading with real money. Now, let's look at the power of compounding. Albert Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world, still governed by the same rule of 72. Like in FD, let's say, if your FD is giving even a very good 8% a year, 72 divided by 8, it takes 9 years for your money to double. But like your ULIPs normally give about, they don't even give 6 now, but 4% a year they give. So 72 divided by 4, it will take 18 years for that money to double. At 6% a year, it will take 12 years to double. At 24% per year, which we are targeting for your equity portfolio, it takes about 3 years to double. So it is very important at what rate your money is growing, because in the long term, that is going to make all the difference. That is going to make all the difference. Let's look at 3 scenarios. Let's say for 25 years, you have invested your money in 3 vehicles, growing at 8% a year, 18% a year, and at 28% a year. At 8% a year, which is your liquid funds rate, FD rates, this 1 lakh will only become 8 lakh, and most of it would be eaten away by inflation. Now, at 18% per year, the 1 lakh will become 1 crore rupees. At 28% per year, it will become 9.6 crore rupees. The scenario for you is the middle one, because here I'm talking net. When I say 18 and I add about 8% inflation on it, so even if you're getting a 26% a year, you take off the 8% a year inflation, your 1 lakh will still become a crore of rupees. And that's why, you need to have money working for you in short term, creating incomes, but you should have money parked for long terms, where every month you have to put in a chunk of money. It is said in Hindi, boon boon se ghada bhar jata hai. And another best thing in the stock market is that there are hardly any long-term capital gains. They are only 10% of your profits. That means you get 90% of the profits. That's what we are looking at. So think the beauty with stock market is, if you want to create something long-term, you have to learn how to think both short-term and long-term. You have to create both the skills, how to create money in a few hours, how to create money in a few days, how to create wealth in a few years. That is how you work on. And that's why the first thing you have, now people ask me, sir, what is the first thing I have to learn in the stock market? I said, the first thing you have to learn in the stock market is fundamental analysis, not technical, fundamental analysis. Because fundamental analysis will help you to evaluate the stock properly. And what is the percentage of your income that should go into creating long-term wealth? 20% of your money you should be saving every month. How many of you save 20% a month? No matter what. You say 20% of the money is not mine, I save it. Right? So thank you very much. Some of you do it, most of you don't do it, and some say I spend it all. Now, if you want to create long-term wealth, the first mindset is that 20% of whatever you get, it is a 50,000 a month, a lakh rupees a month, a 5 lakh rupees a month. 20% is not yours. It should go in the long-term investment. And how much should be in equity? How much should be in the bonds or FDs? 100 minus your age. Whatever is your age, let's say you are 25 years of age now, 75% should be in stocks. You are 40% of age, then 60% should be in stocks. So that's why it is extremely important that it's a mindset. I always say wealth is a mindset. Now, let's understand this slide very well. You want to become an intraday trader. What is intraday trading? Intraday trading is a trading of a few hours. It's trading of a few hours. Now, let's go here. Let's see today, I had Tata Motors that went down 7%. Tata Motors that went down 7%. Now, if you were holding the stock of Tata Motors, would you make money or would you lose money? You would lose money. But in case you were trained in derivatives, now let's look at another vehicle. In case you are trained in derivatives, let's look at Tata Motors, which went down 7% today. I look at the derivative of Tata Motor near expiry, a put option of, let's say, 180 rupees. And the 180 rupees put option went up 43% in a single day. It went up 43% in a single day. Now, there are people who are very excited. They say, wow, 43% in a day. Now, let's look at the other side. Instead of a put option, you have bought a call option of 180 strike price. Instead of making 43%, you would have lost 55% in a day. So is it safe, easy money, or does it require a very high level of skill? But this is the possibility. Think and tell me. It's not easy. No, it's not easy. Now, I'll tell you why it is not easy. When do you have to take the key is, let's look at two vehicles. One is FD. In FD, the moment you go to the bank, put your money in the FD, your profit is guaranteed to you. They will give you a piece of paper. Not here. Let's say the market went up and everybody thinks, oh, it will keep on going up. And this is where Tata Motors open at about 185.5 rupees. The first candle at 920 closes, all green. So a novice might think, oh, this is a great, time. It's coming cheap, let me buy. So what will he end up buying? A call or a put? A novice who doesn't know what is happening. He will end up buying a call and he would lose 55%. But if a guy is trained, he would start looking at this first candle, this candle. He's trained in technical analysis and he says, wow, the market is telling me where it wants to go. Now, this is the science part. Now, this is a candlestick pattern called bearish engulf. Now, this is a candlestick pattern called bearish engulf. And if you identify it properly with an oscillator down, the chances of your trade going right is almost 70%. It's almost 70% in that case. So he says, looks fine to me. Let me go short on the market. Let me go short on Tata Motors. And he looks at Tata Motors. Now, let's come to the maths part. Right now, I looked at a structure part. Let's come to the maths part in this. What are the 4 results that can happen in his trade? What are the 4 scenarios he can have? This is an intraday trade. Morning to evening only. No fundamental analysis. Only chart trading and technical analysis. What are the 4 results he can have? Yes, I'm waiting for your answer. He can have a big profit. He can have a small profit. He can have a small loss. And he can also have a big loss. Out of the 4 scenarios, which one is the most dangerous for him, which will erode his capital the most? The big loss? Not all losses. Only the big loss will erode the capital the most. So he says, let me plan. Now, let's look at a very simple scenario now. And this is today's market. And now, when does he have to take a decision? He takes a decision at 9:25. This is 9:20. This is 9:25. He takes a decision at 9:25 based on the pattern he has got, an indicator down, and he is ready. So now at this point, if he wants to go short, buy a put, mind you, put will give him money if the price goes down. Call will give him money if the price goes up. So he decides to buy a put looking at this, but he wants to make sure that he is not making a big loss. So he goes up, he says, if the price moves above this, I will get out. So this is his planned exit. This is his planned exit. So let's make it a little more number oriented. That means he wants to enter here and he wants to get out in case the price moves on the upward side here. So he has planned for a loss of 3.4 rupees, and this is a planned small loss. What is this? This is a planned small loss. So this is his plan. Now, since he has planned for a small loss and he knows where he will get out if it doesn't go according to him, can he have a big loss? Now tell me, can he have the big loss? Ever? Morning to evening? No, he can't. The simple answer is he can't. Those who said yes, you don't put stop losses. Okay, now, but we don't come here for losses. We come here for profits. Let's look at another scenario. Before, there's a rule of trading, especially intraday trading. Before you enter, you have to know where to exit. If you don't know where to exit, don't enter. It's a golden rule of intraday trading. So I go down and I see where did this move start. If I see more or less, I see this move started almost here. So this is where the breakout happened. This was the breakout candle, and this one I can have as my target. So I keep my target here where there was a, and this is my planned big profit. This is my planned big profit. Now tell me one thing. Is my planned big profit at least 2 times my planned small loss? And this is pure math. I always say stock market is probability and reward to risk. It's all stock market. Yes. Now tell me, if I take 10 trades, 5 of them hit my target, remaining 5 hit my stop loss. By the end of the month, will I be in profit or will I be in loss? Thank you very much for the answer. Everybody said profit. Why? Because my planned profits were bigger than my planned losses. When you are doing income style of trading, this one doesn't work in portfolio building. Portfolio building is different altogether. Now, let's talk about income styles of trading first. There you have to work for a minimum reward to risk ratio of 2:1, or else the probability itself will kill. Right? So now let's see what happened. Price is moving. Now we saw price tend to move up and moved here, and I move my stop loss here. But tell me one thing, can I ever make a loss in this trade now? Because my stop loss price is inside my profits now. So Now, what is another challenge you have? Right now, I knew the stock, so I said, okay, Tata Motors. But how many stocks are there in the Indian stock market? 8,000 stocks. How many stocks, futures and options are available? 200 stocks. So in the morning, out of the 200 stocks, you have to focus on those one or two stocks which have the highest level of probability of success, like we had, Tata Motors today. So that itself will require a very good level of skill. What will you need to learn? You need to learn chart trading properly. On the x-axis is the price, x-axis is the time, y-axis is the price. In Renko chart, it is the opposite. And here, you need to know what are your entry points and what are your exit points. And if you learn to do that, the amount of money, instead of a loss of 55%, can be a profit of 43% in a single day. You won't make this kind of money every day. Even if you are able to make 5 to 10% in a month, which is very much possible with the required level of skill and risk management, you can make decent incomes, which half of them you can use for yourself, remaining half you can transfer to build your long-term portfolio. Now, this was the intraday and the swing trading. What vehicles will you use in them? Let's see what are your vehicles when you are. So this is the slide. In short-term trading, not long-term. Long-term is a different game altogether. In short-term trading, you cannot make losses. Your most important thing in short-term trading is your capital. And if you lose your capital, you cannot trade anymore. Now, those of you who made big losses, many of you would have already made big losses. Did you make a big loss because you lost control over yourself? You became emotionally unstable and you allowed a small loss to become a big loss. Or even you let your profit turn into a big loss. Say yes if this problem has occurred to you. Right? If there was somebody helping you, guiding you, coaching you, and making sure that you never had big losses, small losses are very easy to recover. Please understand, small losses are very easy to recover. I run an online trading room now for more than 5 years, where all kind of traders come for practice with me with real money. I trade with my money, they trade with their money. I keep a standard about 10 lakh rupees as my trading capital, non-leveraged. And with about 10 lakh rupees in a day, with any broker, you can buy for at least about 1 crore of rupees. But I prefer to use my 10 lakh only for 10 lakh. And then there are traders with me. Some of you are some newcomers, some are seasoned, some are just in the learning phase. Some have no capital, they're just looking at me. Some are working with 10,000 capital, some work with 5 lakh capital. I also have full-timers who work with more than 1 crore rupees of capital. So that's why I keep about 10 lakh as a benchmark. There is no minimum requirement there. So when I am looking at 10 lakh rupees of capital, and let's say I have to earn about 10% a month, what should I be earning per day on an average on my 10 lakh rupees? Let's do basic maths, stock market, probability, basic maths, and learning with logic. When you come to the stock market, please keep your emotions in a locker, then come here. Emotions का stock market में कोई काम नहीं. Keep your emotions for other places. In stock market, they are the most useless thing. You will make money from others people's emotion. Always remember, your biggest skill that you will acquire here is how to make money with your own logic and risk management, and how to make money by others people emotions. by other people emotion. So you are targeting about, like, if I have to make, let's do the maths right. If I sit with 10 lakh rupees and I want to make, after brokerage and everything, about 10% a month. So what is 10% into 0.1? That means I'm targeting 1 lakh rupees per month. How many trading days are there in a month? 20 roughly, correct? So I divide this with 20. That means I'm targeting a net profit of about 5,000 rupees in a day. That's all I am targeting in a day. And anything more than that is a bonus, and I plan according to that. And I work on a risk of about 3 to 5% on my capital at the most in a day. And accordingly, though I'm trading now for a longer period of time, since 2002. So my targets personally are a little bigger. I target for a 20% in a month. That means I'm targeting about 10,000 rupees in a day. Is every day a profit day? No. Some days are profit days, some days are loss days. For example, today I had a profit day, all these sessions, but I also had a loss day yesterday. Yesterday, the market didn't go according to me, I had a loss day. There was a profit day, there was a loss day, there was a profit day here. Okay, so now let me open an Excel sheet. We log everything into an Excel. Let's understand from that. Many of my live trading videos, the demonstration ones, are available on my YouTube channel. You can watch there. I'll give you a link later on for that. Let's go here on this one. Now, every day cannot be a winning day. Let's look at this whole year so far. We are in May now. Let's start from January. And I'm live trading online for more than 5 years now in this new online trading room now. This is, in fact, ours is the only live trading room which is running for more than 5 years. More than 4,000 traders have been trained under me who are doing successfully trading and investing. And first thing that we recognize is that every day cannot be a winning day. And on a 10 lakh rupees, you cannot make 10 lakh rupees. Who are the people who lose a lot of money? Who are trying to become rich every day. If you're trying to become rich every day, nothing will happen. And you have to take a risk according to your level of skill. If you don't know how to drive, you cannot fly an aeroplane. If you don't know how to drive, don't sit in the cockpit, please, because that will be very dangerous. But if you acquire the skill to fly a plane, you will travel at 800 kilometers an hour. So see here, my first day started with 3,000 rupees of loss, 9,000 profit, 400 profit, 15,000 loss, 16,000 profit. All this with videos, and there are more than 500 traders who trade with me every day now for years. Now this is 2-2. So you see, I had a winning streak of 4 days, which gave me 32,000 rupees. Then I had a losing streak in which I lost 20,000 rupees. Then I had a winning streak. Then I had a losing streak. And you can see that I had a nice winning streak of almost 57,000 rupees. Then I lost 26,000 rupees, 29, 3 losing days. So what is happening? And there will be a time when nothing goes right. There's a time when nothing goes right. How many of you have faced a period जब दिनों तक सब खराब जाता है, ऐसे लगता है मेरी तो किस्मत ही खराब है? Have you faced those 10 days, 8 days? when no matter what you do, everything goes wrong. That is when your rules will save you. That is when your rules will save you, because you will lose, but you will have small losses, not big losses. Eventually, you will catch up your form, and the same form, like see this form here, it gave me 83,000 rupees. There was a nice one that gave me almost 87,000 rupees. Yesterday, I lost 12,000 rupees. I was not anticipating that big move. But today, I could make 8,300 rupees. And this month so far, I'm able to make a lakh rupees so far, 10%. Last month, it was, 13%. In March, I lost 4%. In February, I made a 53%. And, overall, I am able to make about 17% a month gross. The key is this: my profit to loss ratio is 4:1. So when you are coming into the arena of trading, it is your profit to loss ratio that is the key. Even those small, medium losses, medium profits, small losses, big profit. As long as you don't have a big loss, you will do absolutely fine. So trading is a business of probabilities. Correct reward to risk ratio and stock selection is the most important thing. Because if you're in the wrong stock, in fact, when people come in the start to do intraday and swing trading, I say before you take a single trade for about 10 days, only select the stocks and see if in the whole day that stock went according to your selection or not. Only after your stock selection becomes 70% right, then you should put money in the stock market. Do I make sense, guys? I'm talking right now short-term trading, which is extremely profitable but very risky. You have to have a very high skill level on this one. And for years and years, I'm teaching this to the students. And once you get, it'll take some time to get a hang of it. 2 months, 3 months. How much time does it take to become a good intraday swing trader? About 4 to 6 months. What I've seen with experience, about 4 to 6 months are required to handle all kind of asset classes. Like for example, one other very popular asset class is, let's say, this commodities. You can trade gold, natural gas, and this is an ideal one for people doing jobs. You come home in the evening, this market is open till 12 o'clock in the night. And you hardly require any money. Anybody can do commodity trading if you have a trading capital of 30,000-40,000. Even in 5,000 to 10,000 rupees, you can take a trade in this one. So if I look at, let's say, gold, and this trade is still going on, let's say this is gold. And since yesterday, we see gold has come down from upper level to lower level. Now, one thing please learn about intraday and swing trading. Unlike portfolio building, where you can make money only when the price is going up, in intraday and swing money, you can make money in both the directions. You can trade the long side of the stock or commodity. You can also trade the short side of the stock and commodity. And since it is money, which is put in for a short period of time, most brokers gives you something called leverage. They give you something called leverage. That means you don't have to utilize full capital. You need to put in only 5 to 15% of the capital, and you get benefit of the full 100%. That means you can make money almost 5 to 10 times faster. And in commodities, 20 times faster. So that means if you catch the right trend. Trend is your friend till it bends at the end. Now, if you catch the right trend, and you stick around in that trend, you make sure your stop losses are proper and you know where to get out. See, let's say you identified a short trade here, a piercing candle and a nice wick on the top, and you saw that it was making higher lows. You continued with this. This move from here to here, 31,600 to 31,400. This is the 2,000 rupees of move. And how much is the capital required? 15,000 rupees. That means today, if you knew how to read your candles right, how to analyze, how to work on it properly, you could have made a 2,000 rupees on your 15,000 rupees of profit. So what am I talking about? 2,000 divided by 15,000 into 100. I'm talking of 13% in a single day. This is the possibility. And if you are able to catch this, commodity market is becoming very popular. I teach it in detail. And this is a market for every guy who's doing a job. In the night, you can come, trade for a few hours. Most action happens in the night. You can trade options. Now, your Indian Forex is becoming very, very popular. If I go to the currencies, USD INR, how much money does it trade to trade one future of USD INR? 1,500 rupees. I'm sure all of you can afford 1,500 rupees. Practice all the tools in this, then upgrade yourself to a silver mini. Then once you become more skilled, come to a Nifty and a bank Nifty. Then you become more skilled, you come to the stock futures. Then you become very skilled and you come to the options. And the profits you are making, you're also creating your long-term portfolio. Do I make sense so far, guys? You have to learn. Learning is must. Okay? You cannot be here for learning. Easy money is out, but good money is it. And the good news is very few people take the trouble to give the effort, spend the money to learn. And those who do always make money from the rest. That's one thing I know. Okay, now we have talked about short-term and long-term. You can trade stocks, futures, indexes, options, commodity, and forex. Now let's come to the long-term view now. You cannot create wealth in 2 days. You can create incomes in 2 days, but you cannot create wealth over a long period of, in short period. You can only create wealth in long periods of time. Now, what is wealth? Wealth is when your money is growing at a rate which is at least 3 times the rate of inflation, probably more. Why am I saying? Because you will not only be having stocks in your portfolio, you'll also be having indexes, you'll also be having FDs. In fact, there's a whole profiling you have to do before you put in money. And tell me one thing, do you have all the money right now for all the portfolio that you want to build? Do you have all the money right now for all the big portfolios you want to build? No, of course not. You have a certain chunk of money. 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, whatever you have one chunk of money that I teach you how you demarcate that into various stock, and other asset classes. And then your best friend is systematic investment plans. Every month, dedicate a certain amount of money to undervalued stocks. What is an undervalued stock? Undervalued stock is a stock which has a valuation much lower to the current price and whose potential is at least 5 times from the current price in the next 5 to 10 years. And there, No technical analysis required. It is buy and hold. You look at those stocks once a year, check their fundamentals, and there you learn your best friend there is fundamental analysis. So short-term trading is done with technical analysis, but long-term trading, no technical analysis, only fundamental analysis. You have to learn like a Warren Buffett, you have to learn like a Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and learn how to hold good assets, good stocks, and continue holding them for years and years. And every month you put in some money in, and you'll be so surprised to find that your money will grow manifold in the 15-20 years that you will hold it. And every 3 years, you rebalance your portfolio and come back. Like, for example, right now you are at the age of 40 and you are owning 40% of FDs and debt bonds. But after 3 years, your age will become 43. Then you will not own 40%, you will own 43%. Your risk has changed. And you'll have to readjust your whole portfolio. What I teach you is how to find those quality stocks. Which one is a large cap that you can buy? Which one is a mid cap that you can buy? And which one is a small cap that you can buy? And you identify your 25 stocks. A good combination of blue chips, large caps, mid caps, and small caps. Those are the combinations that you are looking at. And then every month you keep on putting some money in them, and you recheck them every year to see if the fundamentals are intact or you need to switch to something else. And you become a complete trader and investor when you know how to enter, exit in hours and days, and how to create long-term portfolios consisting of equities, consisting of bonds, consisting of FDs, and maybe some real estate put in. But you can work on that. How many of you can put in 10,000 rupees a month of your saving in creating your long-term wealth? I'm just talking 10,000. I'm not asking lakhs or crore, 10,000. If you can put in just 10,000 rupees a month for 15 years plus, you'll all become crorepati. But the key is just to buy, never to sell. In intraday and short-term trading, you have to plan for your sell before you buy. Ajit say, I spend that much a month only in pubs. Maybe you can have a few less drinks and put it here, Ajit. Thank you very much for the honesty. And very few youngs who are honest like that. So very nice to meet you. I don't know your face, but I love to meet this honest man. See, we are not perfect, guys. We are not perfect. We are faulty. The world is faulty. Our finance is faulty. So we have to make a very nice balance in whatever is faulty around us and in us. And when we can do that, wealth is a very natural phenomenon. Wealth is a very natural phenomenon. Read about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, read about Warren Buffett, read about Benjamin Graham, read about Peter Lynch, read about Jim Rogers. These are legends. And when you read about them, you see they started faulty too, but they worked on it and they made such good progress in their life, and they became financially free. Can somebody tell me who is Howard Buffett? Anybody, without looking at Google, can you tell me who is Howard Buffett? Howard Buffett, Ajit says Warren Buffett's dad? No, Ajit, Warren Buffett's son. He's Warren Buffett's son, and he is not in stock market. Why? Because his father made him financially free when he was only 18. And he doesn't have to do a job. His father made him financially free, gave him a few $1 billion, not million, a few $1 billion, and say, whatever is your passion is saying, do it. And now he is working in the field of genetics and food production. Read his books, they're amazing. They're amazing. Have you ever thought how to make your children financially free? That's a good thought. You cannot do this with intraday and swing trading and your options, but you can definitely do it by creating a long-term portfolio where your vision is to create wealth in the next 15 to 25 years, not for yourself, but for your next generation. So they have a choice whether to do a job or not. Does the thought excite you guys? It excited me, and that's how I entered into it. I never wanted to do that job for my life. Yes, does the thought excites you to create financial freedom, not only for yourself, but also for your next generation? And always remember, we are always more excited with our visions than our present reality. In fact, our visions give us the energy to sustain our present reality. Okay, guys, so I'm talking for more than an hour. Let me at least introduce myself in brief. My name is Yogeshwar Vashishtha. I'm a civil engineer by profession. I've done my M.Tech from IIT, my international certification in management from South America, Peru, my advanced courses in trading from Pristine Academy of USA and Online Trading Academy of USA. And I started my journey as a civil engineer. And I started with, after initial stints, I got selected by Skanska, the Swedish multinational, and I was involved in hydropower projects all over the world. I've done projects in Sri Lanka, in Sweden, Norway, and my last project was Yungan hydropower project in Peru. My trading journey started when I was in Sri Lanka, working on the Kukle-Ganga hydropower project. There I met my first mentor, Jeffrey. He trained me into technical analysis. He used to do live trading. I used to pay him the fees and watch him. Then I was transferred to South America, Peru, where I, started learning more of the stock market, and I enrolled in Pristine Academy, US Academy, for an online course. And this was a great decision that I felt I made. It was a life-changing decision for me. In fact, every life-changing decision in our life happens now. And learned a lot from them, started trading and investing. And within a year, I was making about 10% a month on my capital. Then in 2007 February, I came back to India and became a full-time trader. I became a full-time trader almost after 5-6 years. I had enough savings on the backside, and 2007 was easy. Then came 2008 crash. Made good money in 2008 crash. So, and downside is a great time to make money. I always say downward side is a great time to make money. So made good money in 2008. Then came 2009. Always train yourself for both sides. Paresh says, what age you started your trading? I was 38 years of age, Paresh. Today I'm 52. I wish somebody had told me when I was 20. But I got to know about stock market when I was 38. There is no age for stock market. You can start any time. But if you start early, the advantage you have, you get a lot of time for compounding. Then I started trading and investing. In the start, it was a solo journey. Then I called Jeffrey, my mentor. He said, how do I go to the next level, put pressure on myself to perform? He said, there is only one way. Start live trading in front of others so that there are people who are checking you every day. charge them for it, let them check you every day. And that's how I started. You know, I started live trading in front of others, charging a fees. I still do that. And, very soon thousands of people came. Very few people in India live trade in front of others. There is no online trading room except Pathfinders for the last 5 years now. And then I got one other good opportunity. International company came to India. They were looking for some consultants. Somebody recommended my name. And I had never worked with international traders by that time. So said yes to the opportunity. And for almost 1.5 years was working with these wonderful international traders. And whatever was missing was fixed. Then in 2011, 2012, I started toying with creating a mentoring model of my own, and said thank you to this wonderful group. Started creating an online mentoring model, and in December 2012, this is my first batch of 35 students, 6 months of training. At that time, it used to be 4 days in the hotel and 6 months of online, but later on, it was in Mumbai mostly, but later on people started coming from all parts in India, and people requested if I can make an online training, and I couldn't travel everywhere. So I created and converted it into a totally online training, and today it is a very popular 6 months course where 1 month is a foundation course where you start learning training, and after 1 month, when you are prepared, then you do live trading with me for 6 months along with live learning. I'll tell you how it works in about 5 minutes. So that's me, guys. So stock market for me is not only my profession, it is also my passion, and it has changed my life, and I feel very good if I can pass it to others and they can also benefit from it. This is an important slide. In learn is hidden the power. And that's why it's an amazing profession, because you have to learn to be a short term and the long term at the same time. When you're an intraday and a swing trader, your whole focus is to time the market. And when you are a portfolio builder, you have to have the patience of not to time the market at all. That's how it works. Great. So what do you have to do? You have to learn how to build and manage your own portfolio. No fund manager can do it for you. Do it for yourself. A right mix of about 25 stocks, some quality mutual funds, some good index fund, some fixed deposits, some liquid funds, some balanced funds, and a good mix is what I teach you how to make. And this is a portfolio that grows at more than 20% a year net, and your time frame in this is 15 to 25 years, and you always make it with proper brokers, never with a discount broker, for full service brokers, because it is your long term money you are putting here. You should be absolutely safe. Then make money with intraday trading. This you can do with anybody you want. Look for discounts, look for cheap brokerages, because here your holding period is only a few hours. Then catch market swings with swing trading and trade leverage assets and make money when the prices go down. And this is a skill. Even before you start, you should share it with your family. You have to tell them that I am going into the arena of stock market. It will require learning, it will require practice. But after 4 to 6 months, this is a profession I want to start part-time. I advise everybody to start part-time. For about 2 years, you should only be part-timers. It can easily be managed along with your office and your job. Anybody can become a trader and investor, and this is a very nice skill set you can have. Most of us have only one skill of making money. When you learn this, you have two skills of making money, a second source of income. So what is the skill set required? Fundamental analysis. To create your long-term wealth, you should be proficient in fundamental analysis, qualitative and quantitative analysis. I teach this in detail. Then chart reading with technical analysis. You should know how to read a candlestick chart, line chart, pie chart, Renko chart, Henkin-Ishii chart. There are so many oscillators and indicators, at least 20, 30 major oscillator indicators. Then there are, trend following methods, trend reversal methods, gap up trading, gap down trading, volatility trading, or Bollinger trading. In fact, with technical analysis, you will be learning multiple methods to time the market. Fundamental analysis is all about not timing the market, and technical analysis is all about timing the market. Stock filtering to find high probability trades, both short term and long term, both technical and fundamental. Risk management, I cannot overemphasize the importance of risk management. Then you need to master online platform. Now let me talk on this for a few minutes. These days, your physical presence is not required. About 10, 15 years ago, people who used to do short-term trading, intraday trading, they needed to be, they need to look at the market continuously. Not anymore. Now, if you focus on the, technical analysis part, your stock selection part, I'm talking right now intraday and swing. Once you have identified your entry point, your exit point, and your stop loss point, you can put the trade on an auto. In classes, I teach how to do it, especially for office goers. So that, because you cannot time when will it come at 220. So you put the trade, let's say you want to buy something at 220, stop loss at 215, and an exit profit target at 235, just put it in the system and leave it on an auto. Make sure you have the right number of stocks, right entry, right exits, and you can focus on the job. Now, tell me one thing. Let's look at this here. This is a gold, going on this. Let me take a copper. Some of the candles are fine. Okay, here, if I look at a trade of, this is copper that I'm looking at. Tell me, this candle, how much control do you have on this candle if you look at it continuously? If you look at it continuously, will it go up faster? No? Right? No? So if I look at, let's say, now, let's say this is a chart of copper. Let's look at a chart of copper. Now, let's do a very simple technical analysis. Vrishav said, sir, can you analyze a very simple chart? Okay, let's analyze a very simple chart of copper right now. Let's say, and I see what is the habit of copper. Copper is a cyclic commodity. It moves in cycle, upward cycle, downward cycle. You need to understand the cycles of copper. So I add into this yearly trend line. Let's say let's take a quick one. And I see, yes, it is cyclic and it moves around this trend line. So I have to look at a place where it is the most balanced and likely to reverse. And another thing is I just load Fibonacci ratios. Just one tool I'm using, there are hundreds of tools. And I note that it is not only going away from its average line, it has also broken a very important golden Fibonacci ratio. That means it has a chance, a high chance to go from 420, let's remove everything, And let's go to our principle. It has a higher probability of going down than going up. So I move up. I say, okay, if I short copper in a swing trade, I can enter here. I can put my stop loss maybe a little above this swing high here, and I can have a target of this at the initial point where the move started. And in a copper trade, 1 rupee move is 1,000 rupees. Capital required about 25,000 rupees. So what is my maximum risk? 8,000 rupees. What is my maximum profit? 22,000 rupees. And is the reward to risk ratio more than 2 here? Yes or no? Right. Now, tell me, does it look very scary to you now? No, it's a process. It is a science. As long as your winners are bigger, your losers are smaller, you will be fine. But everything will not work this simple because I know it. So I've managed to make it very simple. But when you will go yourself, even a very simple line will look very scary to you. Correct? That's why you need coaches and teachers. And that's why we went to schools and colleges, because we needed them. I learned from my teacher, you learn from your teacher. That's how it works. What is skill? Skill is transfer of knowledge from conscious mind to subconscious mind with practice, practice, and practice. You need to master high probability trading strategies. Like this method that I use in copper right now will not work in copper after 7 days. It will, then you need to have a different strategy. Like on election result day, every election result day I trade. Most people shy away because that is the most risky day. On every election result day I trade right from 9 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. And my hit rate on that day for many years now is almost a 70-80%. So, and I invite you to come there with me day after tomorrow. So, high probability trading strategy, you should have at least 25-30 for different kind of markets. A trading plan aligned to your personality, rational. This is a letter that you need to underline. The word rational. This is the key. This is the key. That you remain rational. It is rational decision making that is the key, because this whole market for the whole day, is it rational or emotional? The whole market for the whole day, is it rational or emotional? It's emotional. And emotions cannot be handled with emotions. Emotions can only be handled rationally. And once you learn how to handle them rationally, and that's why they cannot be learned from books or YouTube videos. You need to have somebody in front of you who's sitting with 10 lakh rupees and handling them rationally every day. That's how the habit will seep in. It is habits. I remember my father was a scientist. This Lifebuoy soap of Hindustan Lever. My father is the inventor of the soap. He's from Indian Institute of Petroleum, Dehradun. I'm originally from there, then went out of India, now settled in Mumbai. And this organic fuel that is in planes nowadays, they have this mix successfully about a few months ago. He is one of the scientists who was part of the team in 70s and 80s who developed that technology. And I've always seen him rational. When he used to do a research, I always saw him rational. He said, anything, because he said, these are researches. He's an organic chemistry scientist. And he said, these researches can be done only when you are rational. So the key is that you remain rational into the market. And there in our scientist colony where I grew up, we had a club, and our favorite game there was table tennis. When we were small, the elder people were not giving us the table, so we were small, and we just used to watch it. We had a height rule there. Only when you were above a certain height were you allowed. That's why the small kids had to rub tables, and the bigger boys were. Then we also became bigger. But for 2, 3 years, I was just watching those guys play table tennis every day. And when my time came after 3 years, I thought I had to learn from the start. But surprisingly, the moment I had the table tennis bat in my hands, I was just playing it very nicely. Why did that happen? Because that was into me for 3 years. So watching others also gives you a lot of skill, and that's what I encourage my students in the start. I said, in the start, focus on watching me, then bring in small money, then practice more, then bring in big money, and one day you will become a full-time. Let it be a natural process, guys. This is my YouTube channel, guys. You can go there and watch all my videos there. Many of them are live trading videos. Then this is my Facebook page. And let me introduce myself in absentia. So here, that's with my better half. And this is my family. It's very important to have relationships. Yeah, this is Shamak Dawar. I met him on a plane. This is Leaning Tower of Pisa, guys. I love to travel. Every year I take at least 3 vacations, 1 international and 2 domestic. And only this profession can give it. No office will give you those kind of vacations. The greatest part with trading is you can do it from anywhere. These are our 2 boys. The elder one is in US studying. Younger one is training himself to become a options trader. AI. That's my latest vacation that I had in Dubai. I was there a few months ago, guys. And my vehicles, I own 2 Mercedes, and I also own a Enfield motorcycle. Can anybody guess out of these 3, which one is the most dear to me? Make a guess. My Enfield 350 red color. That is the one that is the most dear to me because that is my passion. Make yourself financially free. My Mercedes are driven by my driver, but my Enfield I drive myself. So that's why create so much wealth in your life that you have all the time to work on your passions. These are the batches that passed out in the start. Most of my trainings are online. I do occasional physical, but online is the preferred method that everybody wants. The course is totally online. Let me tell you about the course now. 10 minutes I'll tell you about the course, and after that we'll take question answers. I'll also tell you how you can live trade with me on this election day. I run for many years online 6 months traders and investors course, which covers all the asset classes. I don't have separate courses for options or stocks. It's one course because everything is based on price moves, whether it is an option or a stock. So this course covers stocks. It covers the futures, stock futures, and the index futures. It also covers options, both call, put, their time decays, and the strikes and other things. It also covers commodities in details. It also covers forex in detail. These are the asset classes you use to do your intraday and the swing trading. It also covers in detail long-term wealth creation and portfolio building, where I teach you how do you select your stocks which are undervalued, both blue chips, large caps, mid cap, and small cap, and how you hold them for years to create wealth, and how to know after a year which one has become faulty, which has to be taken out, and new one has to be put in. So this is, so how does the course start? Uh, how many of you are freshers, beginners, guys? Say yes if you're a fresher or a beginner. A lot of beginners here, so I guess that. So the course starts with absolute zero, guys. The course starts with absolute zero, and I don't expect you to know anything. If you know something, that's good, but I don't expect you to know anything. So that's how the course will start. You will have first 1 month of foundation training, which are recorded videos that I have recorded before, and you can finish them in a month. If you take 1.5 months, it is fine with me, but normally I have seen with experience more than 4,000 students have passed out. Most people are able to do it in a month, about 5 days of 8 hours each videos, covering all the aspects, making you ready. What is the purpose of this 40 hours of recording? The purpose is to make you ready for live trading and live learning, where your skill will be developed. After your 1 month is finished, you become ready for your live trading. And in this 1 month, you can also open your demat accounts and other things. Then your live trading will start. I know you do jobs, so the course has been designed accordingly. Live trading is twice in a month for the full day. First and third Thursday, 9 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. Every session is recorded, and recording will be given to you. Whether you attend it live or you miss it, recording will be given to you, and it will be with you for the full, 1 week, full 1 week. This initial 1 month will be with you for full 6 months. Okay, if you want to revise. In this live trading, what happens? Let's talk about the live trading, which is where your skill will develop. I will analyze the market in front of you. We will find trading and investing opportunities. And I'll tell you where you have to enter, where you have to exit. In the start, when you're fresher, you just watch me. I trade with about 10 lakh rupees in that session for the whole day. But gradually, as you start getting the skill, you can also start trading with me with real money. So it is of 6 hours each with recording, and you will get 10 live trading session. It is 1 month plus 5 months, total 6 months. Then there needs to be learning on the concepts also. So there is a live learning session on every Tuesday night. I purposely kept it in the night so that everybody can attend that also. It is with recordings where for about 90 minutes I teach, and for about 30 minutes I answer your queries. You can do the course in both English and Hindi. Most people come in English today. The session is in English. So I'm sure most of you would like to do it in English. Then there are revision sessions every Friday, in which important topics are given to you that you can revise. Notes are given, detailed notes are given to you, and there is a support system. Everybody gets a dedicated RM who talks to you first, understand your aspirations and need and your level of skill. Then in all my sessions, I have a query question answer session. This whole course from the start to the end would be done by me. I do not delegate anything in it. I do it myself. I have an able team of more than 15 people who help me and support me. And in about 4 to 6 months, I have seen most of you will become good. I also want you to be connected with me for life. So anybody who has done my course, every Wednesday, 1 hour mentoring session is given with recordings for life. After the training, you can make your own portfolio, guys, and do all kinds of trading and make money from both sides.